Today we want to import reports from Excel worksheets, but we have a small problem with them because each report is a bit different, have a different number of columns. But we want to, in each of this report, remove 2 last columns because there isn't any interesting for us. And how can we do it dynamically? So first of all, we'll get data from file from Excel workbook, and we need to select our workbook from which we are importing our data, import, and we want just select one report at the time. We will work with one report at the time, and that's enough to just see the solution, and we can transform data. And we can see we should have change type step here add automatically. If there isn't, it's even better, because in this step editor, Power Query editor, refers to each columns by name. So we have column 6 and report 1 name column used here. We cannot work with this because in each report those names would be different, so this step will return errors. So we need to delete this step first of all, and then let's check how Power Query editor removes columns. Okay, so we can select 2 last columns, then right click them and choose remove columns option. Now Power Query use Table.RemoveColumns feature function that removes columns by names, and we know those names won't repeat in the other reports. Maybe they may be different, so we cannot do it in such a matter because those columns will be definitely different. There is another way to remove last columns. We can select every other column without those 2, and then right click the header and remove other columns. In this situation we have Table.SelectColumns, and this function refers to promote header step and selecting the columns by names, by the list of names, and we want to create this list manually without 2 last columns, and we can do it by yes, this is select last step, and we can click FX option, add step option near the formula bar, and we can click it, and this option will add a new step that refers the previous step automatically. But we don't want to refer the previous step, we want to refer the promote headers when we have all columns. So instead of remove other columns, we want to refer the step promote headers, and we can see every column here, and we can now use the Table.ColumnName function. This function will return just the names of every column from the table, and we can see this list, and we don't want the 2 last items on this list. So on the List Tools Transform tab we can just remove items and remove bottom items, and we want to remove 2 items, and just OK, and we now have the list that we want to remain, the list of columns that we want to remain, and we can now drag the remove other columns step to the end of our query. But we must remember that editor will change the steps we are referring to. So here we should refer once again promote headers step, and custom it's remove other columns. It should also be promote headers step. Okay, we have list all steps. Yes, this list, and the last step is referencing the hard-coded list. In place of this reference, we need to reference to the step remove bottom items. Okay, and we have this solution. Of course, we can change the name of the step. So for example, select remove bottom items and remove, let's change this to last two, and editor will change the names of the steps automatically. Okay, so we are now selecting columns from each column except of the last two, and we want to add one more transformation. We want to put the names of the columns, so the names of the months in one column and the values in the other. So we have to unpivot other columns. So select salesman and product, right click, unpivot other columns, and we have months in one column, values in other column, but we want change the names of those columns. So in the last step in the formula bar, we can already change attribute to month and value to sales, and we have our solution. And we can go to navigation step, and we can see this is rep 1. We can change this to rep 2 to show that our solution is dynamic. So unpivot other columns, and in rep 2 we have also April as a month. So yes, this is proper solution. Let's check for rep 3. Yes, a bit okay. And now we have only January and February. So our solution is dynamic. We will always remove the last two columns. We can just home and close load the solution, the query to Excel.